Mm. Hey, we live. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Vibin in the D with Lele. It is Friday, October 23rd. I cannot believe this month is almost gone. If you are tuning in live, thank you so very much. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like, share, comment, all that good stuff. If you are tuning in on a replay, thank you so very much. And the same goes for you. Like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. So I am going to get started in a few seconds. I have my guest waiting in the background, and we're going to have a conversation. Hey, Lachelle, welcome to the show. Appreciate you for tuning in. I appreciate your support. So let's get started. You are now tuned in to Vibin in the D with Lele, the podcast dedicated to the creatives of Detroit. Now let's get into this vibe session. So I'm excited. I got somebody coming on tonight who has been on the podcast before. Actually, they were my second guest when I first started the podcast, when it was visual no, it was hearing only. So I would like to welcome to the podcast today, right now, Matty P. What's up?
What's up, y'all? What's up, man?
Hey. Welcome. I appreciate you for coming back.
Of course. Are you kidding me? Please. I'm always come back here. This is the first interview I ever did.
That's right. That is so right. That's what's up. Have you had a lot of interviews since then?
God, I've had a few. The last one I did was on a good friend of mine's podcast. Was that this summer? That was this summer. And then being an accidental guest on there, just talking mess.
Oh yeah, because I remember you told me that, and you were the second guest I had.
Yeah, and I think that was when you had me on, like right after I put out Transitions.
Mm-hmm.
I Transitions, and I was I think I put out Transitions, and my next project was supposed to be an EP that ended up turning into my next album after that. So
right. Yep, and I had just seen you on Elise King's show. And yeah, that was back in January of 2019, the year before the weird year that we're in now.
Jesus. Ooh. Yeah. I wouldn't say no thanks to 2020. That's not true. 2020 has not been, all things considered, has not been that bad to me.
I can say the same because, transitions, it's like a lot of people have told me, and then with myself, had an opportunity to sit down and like kind of reorganize and think about things and get things situated. So as far as this pandemic, since we're talking about that, what's up, Nubian? Thank you for tuning in. As far as the pandemic, how has it affected you and ups and downs?
God, for the most part, it's been mostly ups on my end. Like, knock on wood, praise God, I have not had I've not had like immediate family and like close family for the most part being affected by COVID. I had a couple family members that had got it, but everybody healed up and has been fine. So I thank God for that. My job had just moved to being from home like a week before all of that stuff happened. So like work was easy, and it actually, no lie, has helped me. It's helped me a lot creatively because it's forced me to be at home. So like I've saved a lot of money from not going out to eat all the time because I'm too worried about people being nasty. And and like when I say, like, I've written so many damn songs during this time. Like my goal, so in May, my goal was to have written at least 100 songs, because that would be like the 2-year point since I wrote Hotel Room for my Transitions project, which was the first of like my like rebirth of being a songwriter. And I got 100 songs a lot sooner than that. Like by the end of May, I was at like 122. And the last time, look, and the last song I wrote, I'm about to tell you right now live, the last song I wrote was this past week. on Sunday, and that is now song number 164.
What?
So we've been writing and working on music in this time, and then I've been out here trying to get cute because I was coming in every year. I come into the year just a little, I think we all come in a little bit heavier than we want to, and I was like, all right, I'm 30 now.
I'm not even gonna entertain that. You already was cute.
Look, I'm trying to look like my music feels. I was like, I have too much sexy music, and I'm like, Tank made a post recently. It was like, you ain't singing real R&B if you singing with your shirt on, and I was like, ooh, okay, Tank. So I've been like very, very like health and fitness conscious in this time. So like I'd have been working out like 6 days a week for the most part since February, and trying to be ready so I can, be out here promoting and working on stuff and doing things. So it's been pretty good.
That's what's up. And then that's good that you were able to keep employment and not have to worry about not having, and worrying about is the money gonna come and this and that. So that's a blessing. And you released the video.
Yeah, I did. I put out I released 2 videos. So my first video ended up being the second video I created, which was for my song No Justice that I put out this past summer. I felt real uneasy with all the stuff that's been happening in our country and just the state of being Black and everything else that entails. I was like, I need to make a song for this. Like I was out at protests and stuff, but I was like, I need to do something in like my natural lane too. And put out that song, and then put out the video for I Need You, which had been a process. We will call it a process. That I actually released the video on the 1-year anniversary of filming the video.
Wow.
That was the process. But yeah.
So you filmed the video a whole year ago and then released it after that. Yeah. So what hey Angela, thank you for tuning in. What caused it to take that long to film it and then to actually release it?
Gosh. All right. It was a combination of things, mostly some creative differences between myself and the gentleman who directed it. And ultimately, God, I don't know how to get this thing to stop clinking on my computer. Sorry, y'all. But like back on my phone on Do Not Disturb, my computer apparently is available. But
they're connected.
Yeah, look, I don't know how to get them off. But we had so yeah, like it was some creative differences, and then just a lack of communication back over my way. And so I mean, I almost had actually just like canned the whole thing and was like, all right, we just go leave it alone. I'm gonna chalk that as a loss. But ultimately, I was pretty pleased with the final product that we got out here. People enjoyed it, and I'm like, I mean, that's all that I care is that if other people like it and I like it, then that's fine. It was a great learning experience, though, as my first video. Lots of good things. But for my next project, I'm just, again, every single time it's like a different plan and trying to make sure that you're growing. So next time I've got plans now to get at least 3 videos done before the end of 2020 for my next project. So that way, before it even comes out, I got time to sit and tweak stuff. I got time to work on things, and I'm going to be working on it with some close people in my life so that, it's easy to work on and get feedback on and stuff. So
that's what I like to hear. More goodness coming from. Let's watch that video, by the way.
Yes, let's.
This is Matty P. I Need You. months to figure it out. Try to solve the problem, but I don't know how. I keep holding on, you keep pushing back. I know I make excuses for the things you lack. Remember us just said, yeah, you got it bad. It's not so simple, so much more than that. I need you. You're the sun in my brain. You're the joy in my pain. I need you. I just can't let you go. Got the keys to my soul. I need you. I see you catching feelings for somebody else. And you always knew just how to make me melt. It might be time to put it on the shelf. Guess you moved on. This time I blame myself. I keep holding on, and you tell me stop. I say I'm in love, and you say you're not. You tell me to let go, you're asking a lot. Even when you walk away, get a blue eyes. I need you. You're the sun in my rain. You're the joy in my pain. I need you. I just can't let you go. Got the keys to my soul. I need you. Yes, I do. You're the sun in my rain. You're the joy in my pain. I need you. Oh, I just can't let you go. Got the keys to my soul. You want my loving, baby. Got me twisted over you. I know I got what you need right here, baby. What you wanna do? Yes.
You were now.
I love that. I love that. That was dope. And the person that directed it, who was that?
Reggie. Visuals by Reggie B.
Reggie B. Shout out to you, sir.
Yes.
That was dope.
Pontiac local.
I've always loved that song though. When you first released it, that was one of my favorites.
Look, you know, that's
the
it almost didn't make it. That song almost didn't make it. I had actually worked on. I had like put together. So like when you're working on an album, I can share this with y'all. Like I look at the like songs that I have, try to see what fits, and like figure out sequencing and stuff. And that song was one of the songs that I wrote that I was like, I don't really know if I like this song like that. And when I was like buying the music and everything, I was like, ooh, and this music is expensive as hell. Like, I don't even love this song. But I bought it anyway and recorded it. That song was 2 takes that we did to get the final, just 2 takes all the way through to get that final song. And my twin, who did all my vocals for that, was like, oh my God, this shit is good. And then he had, he does sessions for a lot of people, and had people come through, and he was like, everybody keeps on, like, everybody loves that song. And I was like, really? All right, well then. I was like, look, and I literally was not about to record this song. And once I started playing like music from the album for people, it was one that just was really easy for people to resonate with. So I was like, all right, I was wrong. Let me fall back.
That's what's up. And that album is this one here, Single AF. Y'all need to get that. Dope. And thank you for allowing me to host your record release party. That was dope.
That was so complete. Thank you for doing it. It was such a fun time, and I've got a lot of ideas for my next project release that I'm working on. So I'm praying that the pandemic will let up so that we can do a little bit more stuff, because I've got a lot of plans for this next project. So
yeah. And shout out to Betty God damn it with cheese is in the house. And they're all saying the video is fire. Got me singing along. That's beautiful. And speaking of Betty, that's your Aunt Betty, right?
Yes, it is.
Shout out to Aunt Betty.
Yes, that's my girl.
Her and your friend Latifah, they're amazing to me because they're always there with you.
Yes.
Like if they're in the front row, they're cheering you on all the time. And I mean, that's dope because some people don't have that. You know, some people don't have a person or family members or whatever the case may be to be there to cheer them on every time. And I've seen you perform a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And they have always been there every last time. And I just that warms my heart, like for real. So shout out to Aunt Betty and Latifah.
Yes, y'all. We love y'all.
Definitely. So as far as tell us about Single AF, how you came up with that concept and everything.
Man, so originally Single AF was going to be an EP for Valentine's Day. Now, at that time, I wasn't recording myself, recording my own vocals and stuff like that. So I was at the mercy of my twins' availability. And when you're a parent and a husband, you got 2 kids, it's a little harder to squeeze time for your Single AF brother. So we ended up just getting too close to time to be able to make it a Valentine's EP, because that's what I wanted. I was like, it'll be like different love songs and stuff. And my song Why You Wanna was originally supposed to be the lead single from Single AF. So Valentine's came and went, and I was like, all right, well, that's not gonna work. And I just continued to write, like I'm always writing songs. And I wrote which song? I wrote You Got Me. So my song You Got Me, which is the second song on Single AF, I wrote that song, and then over the next day and a half, I wrote Summer, Leave Me Alone, and Serious, which are the first 4 songs on the album. And those 4 songs really, once I wrote those ones, like those 4 really like started to put everything together. Like I was like, oh, okay, like we might have something. So I continued to write. I started looking at songs that I had written already to see like, is there anything that I love that fits? Because what I wanted to do, and it wasn't even like fully intentional, but what I had set out to do afterwards was to create like a story arc almost of that whole process of like meeting someone, breaking up with them, losing them, getting over them, and finding a sense of self. And so like when I was putting the track list together, it was like, all right, like we got Summer, and this is where like y'all meet and y'all, you know, being fast and just in the moment. And then You Got Me, like I'm all in my feelings and feeling some type of way. And then like it just continued to go into like that in between of like, leave me alone. Why are you trying to hurt me? I need you. And then it got to like the rough spot, like ghosting and you know, fuck you, nigga. Can I swear on here, Lele? Jesus, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Go right ahead, be yourself.
But it got to that point, and then and it was important to me because I actually had that album. The album was done, and I was talking to somebody at the time, which is so funny. Like I write most of my songs not talking to anybody, but I was talking to somebody and wrote the song Crush because I was like, oh, like this is cute, whatever is happening here. And just as quick as I wrote that shit, I wrote Ghosting because I was like, nope, all right. And so I ended the album with my song Me, and then with Crush as a bonus track, because I'm like, all right, like even after you go through all these things and you end up single again, you still are open and still wanting to find something more. And then like Crush kind of starts, like the whole idea was that Crush will start, and then like if you got the album on repeat, it just starts the whole cycle all over again, and you just be out here single AF. So that like I don't even remember where that title came from, but I was just like single AF. That's it. That's what we're calling the album for sure. And then we got to work.
I love it. I love it. I love my shirt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look,
I'm orange to death. What you say?
I said, look, if y'all need merchandise, hit me up. I'm working on my website. That's something that's going to be ready. I promise y'all. Working on my website, but you can always hit me up on Instagram at _Matty P Music on the screen right here, or on Facebook, Matty P Music, to get a shirt. I sell shirts for like $20, and I give you a CD with it. So, and I'll sign your CD for you. So I mean, like,
only $20.
Look, I'm trying. I'm mindful of where I am right now. You know, I think that it's one of those things. Like, I know people say like you have to know what you're worth and everything else, and I do know that. But I also feel like you also have to meet people halfway. Like, I ain't out here selling out arenas yet. When I do that, you can pay $40 for a shirt. But right now in this state, in this pandemic, we're gonna do $20, and I'm gonna look out for the people that support and look out for me, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. That's what I want. That's what I need, is people to, you know, be interested and want to hear the music and all that stuff. So I just be trying to look out.
So tell me about the first time you sang live in an audience, and you told the story about how the guys were, you know, kind of looking crazy, because you're very bold and you're very outspoken as far as being yourself, which I really appreciate that about you. But tell us about that.
Yeah, so I had my first gig actually for on a show with Elise King. Shout out to Elise King. The girl put me on so many shows over these last 2 years. But we were doing a show down at the Aretha Franklin Jazz Hall, and it was my first time singing my own music live for like people that I didn't know. So whenever you're doing your own music, like, putting it out is one thing, because people are listening to it on their own. So like, if they have reactions to it, you don't see that. So singing it live, I'm like, all right, like, I'm so fine with being gay. Like, I don't care about that shit. But I'm like, all right, there is something in me that's a little bit that feels a little uneasy about looking at this crowd with these men that I'm presuming to be straight, and like singing about, you know, fucking with this nigga. And so I started singing my song Hotel Room, and like, if people were like vibing with it. But very early on in that first verse, I say something about the smell of your cologne, and I saw like the facial expressions of these two guys, like sitting like right in the center of the audience. I saw their faces like twinge up and like immediately like get dismissive, like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this, da 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 da. And in the moment, like, it kind of fucked with me for a second, because I was like, oh no, like, this, I can't be up here and be self-conscious, like, no. So then I decided, like, because that was the first song of like 4 songs in my set, so I was like, all right. So then I just decided to sing to them. So I looked in their direction most of the entire performance to make sure that they knew that I saw them, that we see each other. And I was like, I mean, look, you're going to get comfortable with it or you're going to leave. And I remember afterwards, like, because I was annoyed with myself that I let it like even affect me at all. And I went online and like, because they were supporting, I think their daughters were performing in the show within a group of sorts. And I went and looked them up online, found their pages, and I screenshotted them. I think I probably still got them in my phone, because I was like, look, these are my first haters. I have not had musical haters yet. These are my first 2 haters. So I'm going to remember y'all. And look, someday, you know, when the Maniacs is deep, I'm going to post it and be like, get them. I'm just kidding.
Hey, Jervis, what's up?
Yes, hey, Jervis.
Thanks for tuning in. We're going to check out Hotel right quick. And because that's actually one of my favorites. That one and Pull Up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Let's see here.
This ain't the kind of thing we should talk about. This ain't the type of thing people understand. What if I told you that I don't? Usually come to places all alone. Something about the smell of your cologne got me in my zone. You really turn me on. You were thinking maybe we could chill. You like how it looks, but wonder how it feels. I was playing shy, ain't gon' even lie. Said if I change my mind and meet you in room 109. This ain't the type of thing that I ever do. Feeling some kind of way thinking about you. Relax, take your time. You ain't gotta rush, I'm gonna be here all night. Lay back, let me set the mood. We ain't gotta lie about what we came to do. Let it go, take it nice and slow. I won't use my hands, I'll let you take control. You know what we came to do. Hit me up tomorrow and I'll meet you in your hotel room. You can have it anywhere you want. You can have it any way you like. You can have anything you ask for, babe. You just gotta say what's on your mind. Tell me what you see when you dream. Gonna tell me about all your fantasies. Tell me what you think when you look in my eyes. I can feel the pressure building between you and I. This ain't the type of thing we should talk about.
I love that song. I love
Yes,
it.
that was my favorite. You know, it's just so crazy how stuff happens artistically. And Bobby, shout out to Bobby out there. Happy belated birthday to Bobby. Bobby was
Happy
in this.
belated birthday, Bobby.
Bobby is one of the girls in the "I Need You" video when we're cheersing at the bar, who came out to support and be an extra in the video. So yes, we love Bobby. But Hotel Room actually, like, creatively, the way this stuff happens is just crazy, because when I wrote Hotel Room originally, I wrote it to a beat that was very different than that. Like, it was like slow, like acoustic R&B from like the 90s. And I remember hearing that beat and I was like, let me try this out and see if this flows. And I was like, oh no, this is it. I was like, thank God I didn't record this song as is, because we would have had to do a remix on here or something to make it work. So yes, that was my baby though. Oh, did you lose me? Did I lose you?
Wait, you're freezing. You're freezing up a little bit.
All right, now we good, I think.
Now you're freezing. You're frozen.
Oh no. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. But yes, did you hear what I said about Hotel Room?
No, it was freezing up.
Oh, okay. Look, the long and short, I wrote it to a totally different track. It had a whole different, like, slow 90s R&B acoustic vibe. And I heard that beat and I was like, this is what I need to be doing. Like, I need to make music that is the kind of stuff I want to listen to right now. And then everything else, just Hotel Room was the song that started all the rest of this stuff for me. So that song will always be a little special. And it's a completely accurate and real life account. So the other piece of it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. We're gonna listen to Pull Up too in a minute. But what have been some of your challenges in your music career?
God, you know, the biggest challenge I think is not getting in my own head about stuff. I think you know, because like naturally in any sort of field, you can't help but compare yourself to an extent to other people. So when I'm like, all right, like, I feel like my songwriting is good as hell, but like, I'm not getting streams like this person is getting. And so like looking at like things like that, where like paying attention to streams and how many people are like actually listening to my music, thinking about like, social media type things, which admittedly social media is not my thing. I'm just not, that's one of those things that like skipped over me in my own generation. But looking at those kinds of things, and then being too worried about like, all right, are people gonna like this? Is this too much of a shift or too much of a jump? Because I feel like it's so weird because you don't only get one shot, because you can do stuff as much and as often as you want to, but if you do the wrong thing, it can mess up and sabotage everything you have going on. So it's that piece of like, all right, when is it okay for me to move on to the next project? I don't want to feel like I'm like rushing out of things or trying to, just go on to the next thing, because I want to make sure that I'm giving the music that I'm putting out there an actual opportunity to be seen and be heard. And just not getting in my head on that, because and that's why like with each release I'm like, all right, what did I like about the lead up to this? What do I want to change? What do I want to see moving forward? So that when I look back and reflect on it, I'm like, whatever the outcome is, however people take it and engage with it and feel about it, it's exactly what I wanted it to be, 100%. And that's good enough for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, and it's a lot of artists, a lot of creatives, period, get in their head like that. And it kind of keeps them from doing things that they really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's that 4-letter word mixed in there, fear,
Yeah.
And so that's good. What has been some of the very, very high points of your career thus far?
I mean, doing my album release parties, both of them for Transitions and for Single AF, like those were two of the most like fun nights that I've had in my life, because it just felt, in those moments, you have those moments where everything just feels right. Like it's like the universe did not wake up and say, fuck me today. The universe was like, we're giving you this one. Like, so getting all of those projects out were high points for me. Having my first singing my songs, even in spite of that whole experience in that first show, getting out there and just singing my own music and not being afraid to allow people to hear it and judge it for whatever they interpreted it to be. And then beyond that, singing, I do a lot of work with the DATC, the Detroit Actors Theater Company. And the one thing that this damn pandemic took away from me was our gig at Shinola Hotel, because we had a gig every other Sunday at Shinola Hotel singing, and we did a lot of covers and things like that. But I did get to sing an original song that I wrote for Christmas, for my Christmas AF album, that I wrote for my mom, called Christmas Just Ain't Christmas. And like being able, that was the first time that I've sang a song, and because it's a sad Christmas song, because I was like, look, y'all, people are sad sometimes on the holidays, and that needs to be, we need to make that a normal thing. Like, that's okay.
Right.
And it was the first time that I had somebody come up to me with like an emotional reaction to my music. Like this man, like this grown man was in tears and was like, I lost my parents and da 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 da. And your song really, it really spoke to me. Like, you all are singing these cheery holiday songs, and that's what I expect to hear. So you totally, like, you caught me off guard. I was taken aback by this. And I want you to know, like, that song did something to me. And in that moment, I was like, well, look, I wrote it because I needed it to do something for me. So I'm just like being able to have something like that, where someone connected with something that I created in such a deep and meaningful way, was like, oh, I need to feel this feeling. I want to continue to give that to people.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's got to be a good feeling when your music has affected somebody in a way like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, speaking of acting,
yes.
tell us about how this started. Fakers, by Vanessa Lynn. I know it was originally going to be a stage play, and then it turned into a mini-series type thing.
Yeah. So Fakers Fakers had a couple iterations of it as we like were working on things, but yeah, the final project came out with our mini series, and it was a lot of fun. We had a good time working on that project. I actually, so fun fact, because I had to I had some other engagements that I had to take care of. So I was in the production, and then I had to step down from the production, and then I came back to the production. So everything that you see with me in the movie was actually filmed over 4 days. And I had such a good time, like 4 days. And when I tell you I was stressed, like I got a call from them, and like the next day, like they needed me on set, and I was like, "Y'all, I don't know this script. Like, my character has a nice amount of lines. I don't know all these lines." And I was like, I mean, my memory is all right. Knock on wood, praise God. But I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to be on this set, like fucking up and having everybody be like, "Oh my God, we got to do it again." And to my complete flabbergast, I got every one of them lines memorized like right before filming. Like we're setting up the scene. I'm in getting like makeup and stuff, and I'm just over here reading the script, and I'm like, all right, let's get out here and do it. I got this one scene and nothing else. Let's go. And that's how we did that over 4 days with all of the scenes that I did in that movie. So it was a fun time. It was really different. Like I've always considered myself a singer, and then I would call myself a songwriter, and I might even flip those off, because I actually think I'm a better songwriter than I am a singer. I've danced since college, but acting has always been one of those things. I'm like, I mean, I think I can, but like, I don't know that I'm that good at it. And doing this role in particular, the role of Benny that I play in Fakers. So if y'all haven't watched it, make sure y'all go on Amazon Prime and watch it. It's free on there, so you got to pay extra. But doing that role in Fakers, it was something that I felt more comfortable with, because when I heard, it was a friend of mine who actually recommended me to audition. And she was like, this character is so, like, I could see you killing it. And the character was a really good step for me for acting, because I love comedy. People tell me that I'm funny in real life. So I'm like, okay, I'm very sarcastic, and I can be real shady. So like, my character was he wasn't a super far reach for me to be able to like dig into. So I actually got to have a lot of fun with it. Like the 4 days on set, all of my castmates that was in scenes with me, like I never broke character. So I would just be there being petty all day, because I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not eating that. I don't know what you're wearing. Are you about to shoot with this on? Like,
yeah, Benny was tripping. I was like, Benny, now cut that out.
Yes,
that was a lot of fun, though. That looked like it was a lot of fun, like I was there or something.
Yeah, shout out to Faker, shout out to Vanessa Lynn Productions, Parables, and Beezy, who was a director on there. Yes, we had a real fun time.
So going back to when you first started singing, what were some of your inspirations that said, "Hey, I want to do that"?
God, the first person that I even think of is Mariah Carey, because when I was a kid, and I just got done reading her book last week. I don't need to plug her book, y'all. It's a #1 New York Times bestseller. Mariah Carey don't need my money or my input, but read it. But, Mariah Carey, like everything about her when I was a kid, like I just adored her. And then when I realized that she was a songwriter, I'm like, oh my God, like she can sing like this, and she writes her own music and is out here like working. Like she was the very first, like she was like my first favorite artist, and she's still in my top 2 favorite artists, along with my girl Rihanna. So Mariah Carey was like the first inspiration, and then over the years, different people have inspired me in different ways, just as far as like what they do creatively. But yeah, she's by far the most, like reading her book, I was like, oh my God, that's a goal of mine, to like meet Mariah Carey. And I'm going to play her this interview someday, meet Mariah Carey. And for her to say, if she just utters a word, like she knows a lyric of mine, if that woman knew a word that I wrote, or could sing a song or reference anything, like I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna completely pass out.
Mariah. Yeah, Mariah is an old school beast for real.
Yeah.
I remember playing her music so much. Woo. Yeah,
Like,
she was great. Angela Davis said, "Now you can add actor to your resume. Triple threat."
yes, look, we doing it now. Look, we were talking about when we talked about fakers after the premiere, after y'all watch it, it's like, I mean, look, maybe we'll do another mini series. Maybe I'll get a spinoff. Who knows? Who knows?
You never know.
Manifesting.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So I like to ask this question of artists when they're singers. Who's some people that you would like to do like a collaboration song with? Like, I don't know, a rapper, a singer.
Gosh.
It can be local, it can be mainstream.
I'm so bad because my whole next project, I purposely wanted to do it all alone without no features at all. So, but if I feel like Mariah Carey, that would be too much. I wouldn't be able to handle that. I would love to do something with Rihanna, but Rihanna, Mariah, I don't know that I could handle that. So let me think about somebody that I could handle doing something with. People out, God, there's so many artists that I love. I love Jhené Aiko. People say her last name differently. Love Jhené. I would love to do something with Jhené. As far as rappers go, Drake, God, see, Drake is too big. He'll like swallow me in my song, but I would still work with him.
It's okay. You can still work with Drake.
Look, Drake, I would love to work with Big Sean. He counts as local and mainstream.
Right.
And I want to do some more. I want to get to do some songs with other artists in the area because, I feel like it's important to have some theunity amongst artists and stuff because we're all trying to do the same thing. And as Elisa said at the end of most of her shows, look, there's room for everybody. Like her having a platform doesn't take away from anybody else's ability to have a platform or do things. And so, working with some other artists around here, shout out to Remington Lloyd and Elise King. Like those are some people that I'd love to work with. We just gotta get our life together. Oh, Megan Thee Stallion, yes. Now I would love her. You her and Cardi B, and I do have a whole. I've got like I'm telling you, I wrote so much music this year. Like I have a whole like ratchet project that could be like ready right up the alley of Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B type stuff. So yeah.
That's right. It is Jervis's birthday. Happy birthday, Jervis.
Happy birthday. Come on, Jervis.
Look with a happy birthday.
Is he still a Libra?
It's
still Libra season, I think. I don't think he missed the cut.
I thought Scorpio season started.
Oh no, does it start today?
I don't know.
Well, Jervis, if you're a Libra, happy birthday. If you're not a Libra, then you almost made it.
You out of control. Oh man. So let me ask you this. If there was no music, what would you be doing?
Oh my God. So no music, that means no songwriting either. I'd probably still be doing some sort of writing because I love to write. And honestly, legally, that was one of the reasons why I had to start working on my music for real, because as a child, as an adult, I've never like envisioned a job that I wanted besides making music. Like there are things that I'm good at. Like I train for profession right now and I'm really good at that. I never saw myself as a kid like, ooh, I hope that I can be a corporate trainer someday. But the cards fell as they have, and it's been a great experience for me. But I mean, gosh, I'd probably just be doing that. I'd have to be doing something where I'm in front of people and engaging with people and doing stuff, because I like the connectivity with people too much to do anything else.
Your Aunt Betty said comedy.
Yeah, I mean, look, see, I've toyed around with that idea because I've had too many people. The same part of why I started doing my music. Too many people were like, Matty, why aren't you working on your music? And I was like, okay, God, I get it. Let me get my stuff in order. And I've had a lot of people that have said that about like doing comedy stuff. But the problem for me is that I feel like if I were to do comedy, now I'm thinking about being funny instead of just being funny. Like, I feel like I would get too worried about it, and it would take away the sincerity of what it is when people experience it just in my presence, versus me like intentionally being like, all right, what's going to make people laugh today? Like, I don't know.
I can relate to that completely. Absolutely. Yeah. It does make you kind of like, it's just weird. It's weird because people tell me I'm funny, and okay, I'm down with that. But then when it's like, okay, you got to come up with a set, and you got to, and it's like, oh hell, I just want you to laugh just because I said something stupid.
See, and then my comedy is like, I get real dark and more like, I make jokes about stuff. I mean, bless my mother's soul, I make a lot of jokes about my mother, and she's dead. And other people, like, people stop and they're like, that was really funny. Can I laugh at that? Should I laugh at that? Is it? Are you about to, like, you want to fight me if I laugh at this? Because you're like, I'm not talking about your mom, but you said that, like, I don't know. My twin and I have a movie in our heads that we've been working on since we were kids, called April Fool's Day. That is just all sorts of dark humor. It's from I don't even want to tell y'all the top of it, that like our opening, because it can be really like painful for someone who's experienced what we're making a joke of, but we just think it's funny.
Yeah, I have a morbid sense of humor too, but I kind of like push it to the side because I know some people are very, very sensitive, and they might, I don't know, go jump off a cliff or something. So I don't want nobody to do that not on my watch. Not on my watch.
Yeah, I ain't got time to be sensitive to people. And like, I feel like it kind of say anything. Like, if I make a joke about Black people, I'm Black, and I will get canned by Black social media for trying to bring us down when everybody else is trying to bring us down. And if I make a white joke, I am also white. I'm going to be racist against white people, and I'm going to have to explain how that's not a thing. And then if I make a gay joke, like, you're setting the community back, and it's like, bitch, can we just... Why is everything so serious?
Man, can you say that again? Why
is everything so serious?
So if you had first I'm going to ask you, what's some of the best advice that you've received, and what's something that you would tell if you had a message to give all of your fans, what would it be?
God, the best advice, I've received it from several different angles at different times, and it's very simple. What's for you is for you, and God will make room for whatever it is that He wants to do with you. And it took me really like taking that to heart to start working on my music, because it's like, all right, like, you're right, God didn't... It's too much happening in here to not get it out here for somebody. So those were the things that like spoke to me the most, and prompted me to do a little more self-reflection, to start really being present in what I want to do and living in that truth. I could say, as far as like advice for other people, like, be unafraid to do stuff. Like, I'm so happy to be working on music and doing that now. But at 31 years old, I'm like, nigga, you could have done this at 20 and 21. and I had worked on music. I actually my real first EP came out when I was 18, but it is nowhere to be found. I don't want anybody to find it. Someday someone will dig it up, and that'll be that, and we'll pretend I'll do a Mariah Carey, and I don't know her. But
that must be the one that I found.
Look, it's called the Pretty Boy EP.
That's it.
Yeah, see, and
I didn't find it.
I thought I deleted that shit off of everything I could find, but it wasn't me, and so I just and I let that like really fuck with me, and I let my own like self-doubt and lack and it wasn't even that like I didn't think I could sing or that I was talented. It was that again, like comparing yourself. Like I was in college and in music theater department and stuff, and I'm like, oh, these people, like, they know how to do this and they've done that and they've studied here and they have all these different things. Like I don't have that. Like I just have raw plain talent, and I don't know if that's enough. And I let that affect me too much. So I would just tell people, be unafraid, go for whatever it is. And I just want to see you jump. That's the line of my first single on this next project. I just want to see you jump. Whatever it is, I just want to see you jump. Go for it.
All right. Well, let's check out Pull Up right quick.
Yes.
Pull up. And why is not? Come on, pull up.
Oh, the volume was muted on it, Lele.
Oh, my bad. See, I'm like, what's going on? Okay. I think I played this to death.
Oh, Lele Jervis saying he can't hear it.
He can't hear it?
Thought it was different, ain't a damn thing changed. Something happens when I'm calling your name. Been there before, but it's just not the same. Boy, you know it's getting hot. They can hear us down the block. Them speakers like when you pull in the parking lot. You know it's getting hot. They can hear us down the block. I go with them speakers, not when. When you gonna pull up on me? You know just what it's gonna be. I've been waiting, my ticket's on E.
I played that to death.
Yes, look, I remember you used to You posted that song for me a whole lot, and that was the very last song I wrote for Transitions.
Yeah. I used to play it. It was so funny because people are so, I don't know what you want to call them, but I drove for Lyft and Uber back in the day.
Uh-huh.
And I would just let you guys songs play. I didn't care. They were songs I liked, so I'm gonna let them play. And there was men in the car, there were women in the car, and I remember it was a couple of times. Some of your songs came on, and you can distinctly tell that you're talking about a man and a man. And they'd be jamming to the beat and rocking and stuff, and then they would kind of stop and be like, "Huh." Oh, it would be that would be so funny.
Look, oh please!
I was like, you better not say nothing either.
They're not ready for my next. I was over. So after I finished recording my next album now, and we're in like the mixing and mastering phase at this moment, and there's a song on this album called "Freaks" that. I sing a lot of these songs before I record them. I sing them for like different people. I was singing my aunt Betty a bunch of the songs from the album, and then I was like, we were in the car, and I was like, I can't sing this one. And I'm like, I know that you've heard me sing songs that are real raunchy, and you know them, but I was like, there's something different about sitting here with you in the car right now and singing some of these words that are making me uncomfortable. It was like, are you actually getting older now? Like you get embarrassed by things? But this song, this song takes the cake of any. If I have gotten vulgar up to this point, this song completely tops anything that I've done, and I can't wait for people to hear it. I would love to be a fly. I don't want to be there. I just want to be a fly on the wall when people hear it, because I even told my twin, I'm like, when we start working on this one, just don't make sure that the kids aren't around, because like I don't want them to hear this song just because they're babies.
Ooh, yeah, keep the babies away from the throat baby songs and all that other stuff. Keep them away. Let them get to that when they get older.
Yeah.
But it's been really great talking to you. I always like talking to you, and keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. I can't wait for your next project. I always look forward to what you're going to bring to the table, and let people know how to get in touch with you, and if you the booking or whatever they need to do.
Yes, look, if y'all trying to reach me on Instagram, it's _ at Matty P Music. On Facebook, you can find my page. Go like my page. Go follow my page and like my page on Facebook, Matty P Music. We can even be friends on my real, actual like person page, Matthew J. Parry. Like I'm not even above that yet, so we can do that. If you want to book me, shoot me a message. I'm actually doing a show tomorrow. So we've got a show tomorrow that's going to happen for voting. So it's the Connect to Protect Vote Initiative. So I'll be on there tomorrow night between 8 and 9:30. I'll be doing a couple songs. So I might debut a new song that'll be on my next project. So I can tell y'all my next album is called Yellow. So Yellow is the movie. It'll be out in April of 2021, and the first single is going to be out in January. So I'm looking forward to hearing it. It's a totally different vibe than anything else I've done up to this point that people have heard. So I'm really excited and really anxious for people to hear it and get their thoughts.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, you'll hear some of it early. Looking
forward to it.
Yes, you're gonna hear some of it early, Lele, because I've got a whole timeline of events, and I will definitely be doing some audience testing with people that have supported my music and stuff, just to get feedback and get some thoughts, because look, I said it's recorded now, so I've got plenty of time to work with it and make some adjustments as needed. So yes, you will definitely be involved in that.
That's what's up. Well, thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Have a great show tomorrow.
Yes, thank
And
you.
you're welcome back anytime.
Yes, look, please, this will be the first place I come to debut anything, and you will get jumped when the single is ready to be debuted.
Okay, jump me. All right. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lee.
All right.
Talking to the diamonds of Detroit City.